In 2025, the world watched as China made a decision that rippled through every corner of American industry. One move, one sweeping policy, changed the future of aviation, and perhaps the course of global economic leadership. With a single stroke, China imposed a staggering 125% tariff on American imports, including Boeing aircraft. Suddenly, Boeing, once a fixture in the world's fastest-growing aviation market, found its position erased almost overnight. Chinese airlines halted all acceptance of Boeing planes, and some even returned jets that had just been delivered. This wasn't just a business setback, it was a seismic warning. The balance of global power was shifting, and America was at risk of losing far more than just planes. The numbers are epic. In a jaw-dropping deal worth over $50 billion, China cancelled every pending Boeing order and committed to buying up to 500 aircraft from Europe's Airbus. For Boeing, the impact is devastating. China had once accounted for 25% of Boeing's global deliveries, making it a critical market for growth and innovation. But by 2023, those deliveries had dwindled to a single aircraft. And now, there are no new orders in sight. The skies above China are filled with Airbus jets, 100 already in service, and 500 more on the way. Boeing's presence? Just 160 planes, fading into the background as Europe's aviation giant takes the stage. But this story is about much more than airplanes and contracts. It's about the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Boeing employs 140,000 people directly, but its impact goes far deeper, supporting machinists in Kansas, electronics makers in Ohio, and small-town manufacturing plants across the country. The loss of China's business means slowdowns on the factory floor, layoffs, and shrinking opportunities for small and mid-sized suppliers who depend on Boeing's continued success. And it's not just aerospace. Industries like Apple, Tesla, Ford, and GM are watching this closely, fully aware they could be next in China's crosshairs if trade tensions escalate. For years, American leaders have promised to bring jobs back home. Tariffs, subsidies, and patriotic speeches have been the tools of choice. But reality tells a different story. In the first months of 2025, announcements of new manufacturing jobs in the US fell nearly 30% compared to 2023. Why? The challenges are formidable. US labor costs can run 6 to 10 times higher than in Asia. Regulations are stricter, energy is pricier, and supply chains are tangled across continents. For many companies, the numbers just don't add up, and the lure of overseas production remains strong. Meanwhile, China has moved on. The days of relying on American markets are over. In 2025, just 2 to 3% of Chinese listed companies' revenue comes from the US, and exports to America fell 21% in April alone. Some analysts warn that by the end of the year, those exports could plunge by as much as 77%. Instead of looking west, China is doubling down on its own consumers, now responsible for more than 65% of its GDP, and forging new partnerships across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Europe is seizing the opportunity. Airbus wins massive contracts. European firms build new alliances. The United States is being left out of the conversation, watching as others claim the future. This is bigger than Boeing. It's a global economic realignment already underway. America once set the rules. Its tariffs, sanctions, and demands shape the world. But those levers lose their force when your rival no longer needs you. China is building alternative markets and alliances, not simply threatening, but moving forward. Meanwhile, Washington is still debating its next move. The warning is clear. The global balance has shifted. China no longer needs America's market, but US companies still rely on China's. If Boeing can fall this hard, who's next? Apple? Tesla? The question is not whether this shift will continue, It's whether the United States can adapt before more industries face Boeing's fate. Because this is not just a trade dispute, it's a rewriting of the global economic order, and it's unfolding right now. History isn't just in the past, it's in the deals being signed today.